So, over the course of 2024, we have taken part in 5 half marathon races.
Yes, it's a challenging distance, but if you choose the right course, you can get it right.
So in this video, we are going to take you through those 5 half marathons we've done, and we're going to give each one a mark out of 100, or what we call a percentage. We're going to grade each course on PB potential,
Pre-race logistics,
course interest and atmosphere,
and of course, value for money.
so sit back and enjoy our take on 5 excellent UK half marathons. So first up we have the Brass Monkey Half Marathon, which takes place near York at the end of January. So first up, value for money. Entry to the Brass Monkey costs just £27, which is really good. However, if you want a memento in the form of a long sleeve top, then that is an additional £9. So we've rated value for money for the Brass Monkey Half Marathon as 20 out of 25.
So, PB potential for the Brass Monkey, we have given it 25 out of 25. The reason for this is that it is a flat course. It's also quite a stacked field, so you've always got somebody there who's going to be pulling you along to a fast time. The roads are very good, the surface is very good, the tarmac is very good, and there's only one little slight rise and then it finishes on a gradual down. So yes, the Brass Monkey is an excellent race.
And yes, I've set my PB there many years ago, also my 3rd fastest time, Dawn's 2nd fastest half marathon time ever, and many people we know in the local area have that as their all-time PB course, so definitely 25 out of 25 for PB potential. So 3rd category, pre-race logistics. Now the Brass Monkey has grown very popular in recent years, and they've had to introduce a ballot system. So not everybody who wants to do the Brass Monkey Half Marathon can actually get in. They do operate a transfer system through the end part of December where you can get a transfer, so beware if you want to do the Brass Monkey Half Marathon, it's pretty difficult to get into these days. But once you have secured your place, on the day logistics are absolutely perfect. You get to park at York Racecourse right by the start line, and there are fantastic facilities in the actual building of York Racecourse. There's loads of toilets, you can shelter in the warmth, and for the prize ceremony afterwards, again, it makes for a great headquarters. So we've given logistics for the Brass Monkey Half Marathon a score of 22 out of 25. So 4th category is course interest and atmosphere. Now personally I find lots of interest on this course. You pass by the Archbishop of York's Palace in Bishopthorpe. There are a couple of picturesque villages you pass through, and you get to start and finish by the old Terry's Chocolate Factory by York Racecourse, a very historic building. So yeah, plenty there to see for somebody like me who likes lots of interest.
And yes, as for the atmosphere, that too is very good. You have quite a lot of people at the start and the finish, and you have pockets of people out on the course, especially as you go through the villages. But for somebody like me who also likes to get into their pace and go in on themselves a little bit, you also have pockets of quite quiet areas as you go through the course. So in terms of atmosphere, I would say it has the right mix.
So for course interest and atmosphere, we give a score of 22 out of 25.
So the total score for Brass Monkey Half Marathon is 89 out of 100.
So have you ever done the Brass Monkey Half Marathon? Do you agree with our judgments and our scores? If so, or even if not, let us know in the comments below. So second on our half marathon list for 2024 is the Bath 2 Tunnels Half Marathon. Now there are actually 2 iterations of this race, one taking place in the summer, but we did the event that took place in late February.
So firstly, value for money. So this race cost £40 to enter and an additional £4.50 to get a shuttle bus.
Now this will seem a little bit on the pricier end, as there were no road closures. As you can see, it takes place entirely on trail. There was a nice memento at the end in terms of a wooden jigsaw piece in the form of old railway pictures. So we gave the Bath 2 Tunnels Half Marathon a score of 15 out of 25 for value for money. So in terms of PB potential, actually this race had a certificate of course accuracy, even though it started on the field. The majority of the race was up and down this old railway line, where you can get into pace. You had a few 180-degree turns, but you could actually run a quick time on it. I wouldn't say it's all-time PB potential, but certainly, you know, if you're looking as an improving runner to run a quicker time, it's possible on this course. However, you do lose some time coming down off the muddy field twice. So our score for PB potential is 14 out of 25.
So the next category is pre-race logistics. So in terms of entering the race, that seemed to be straightforward enough. There seemed to be entries available right up to a week before, which is when we entered. Now that might not always be the case, but on this occasion it was.
However, on the day you are asked to take a park and ride, which is a few miles from the race start. It's at the end of February, so once you get to the race headquarters, it's on an open field above Bath. There were a few toilets, but I don't think enough for the amount of runners they had. There was nowhere to shelter. There was a baggage tent, but they didn't want every runner congregating in there for obvious reasons. So there was no shelter, and really I like to park near where the race start is, particularly in winter, because you might want to go back to take off base layers, etc., to get your gels. So really, I think pre-race logistics was a little bit challenging for us at the Bath 2 Tunnels Half Marathon, and therefore we're giving it a score of 12 out of 25.
So the final category was course interest and atmosphere. Well, if you're into railway architecture, then I guess this is the course for you.
Yes, as the name suggests, you pass through 2 old railway tunnels. In fact, if you're such a fan of railway tunnels, you not only get to pass through them on the way out, but on the way back too, and there's a bonus on the way out again and on the way back. So I think there's 8 tunnel sections in total. In terms of atmosphere, yeah, that was pretty good. It's run by an events company, so they tried to generate a little bit of atmosphere at the beginning with the group warm-up. It wasn't too bad, and actually, because they have not only the half marathon, but they have a 5k and a 10k going on the same course at the same time. As you can see, there's always runners going out, you're passing runners coming back the other way, so you get the sense you're part of an event. So in terms of on the course interest and race atmosphere, we've given it a decent 20 out of 25.
So our overall score for the Bath 2 Tunnels Half Marathon is 61 out of 100.
So have you got a favourite half marathon race you've done in 2024, or one you're looking forward to in 2025? Let us know in the comments below.
So next up is the North Links Half Marathon, which we did in early March.
So first up, value for money, the North Links Half Marathon has a sliding scale of entry. Currently for the 2025 race it costs £31, so that's pretty reasonable for a half marathon these days. They also have closed roads, which is an advantage, and at the end you get a medal and a piece of cake. So in terms of value for money, we have scored it 22 out of 25.
So the next category up is PB potential. Well, the North Links Half Marathon is a very flat course, and it is out in country lanes, so you are exposed a little bit to the elements, but on the right day you can actually get a really good time. One of the advantages as well of the North Links Half Marathon is that they have pacers, so you can actually latch on to one of those, and if you don't want to go with a pacer, there is always people running at your pace that you can actually pace off. So yes, I would say that it has a really good potential for a PB. In fact, we do know several people who did get a PB on the race, and in fact I think I ran my second fastest time this year for half marathon at the North Links Half. So yes, we've given it a PB score of 23 out of 25.
So third category, pre-race logistics. Well, you can enter this race right up until a week before, so that's really convenient and handy depending whether you're injured or whether you think you want to do it. On the day, there is ample parking at an athletics track a short distance from the start, about 1 kilometre from the start. Unfortunately, the day we did it, there was torrential rain. We opted not to park there, so we had a mile walk from a designated car park in a college to the race start. Again, as there was torrential rain, we found that the race headquarters, there wasn't really anywhere adequate to shelter. A few people were huddled inside. So it wasn't like the Brass Monkey Half Marathon where there was a large building to shelter inside. Pretty unfortunate for the organisers, but that was that in terms of race day logistics. So on a pleasant spring day it would have been fine, but our experience of it wasn't the best on the day we did it. So overall, race day logistics, we give it a score of 18 out of 25.
So in terms of course interest and atmosphere, well, if you like lots of feels, then I'm sure it would be of great interest to you. However, on a serious note, it is the kind of course that is quite sparse. You're out on country lanes, and so you don't get a lot of atmosphere out on the course. The atmosphere is the race itself and what you're experiencing within the race. However, at the finish, the organisers do put on a good show. You have a loudspeaker and they do cheer you on as you come through. So they do the best they can for the type of course it is.
So overall, for course interest and atmosphere, we ranked the North Links Half Marathon at 16 out of 25.
So the North Links Half Marathon comes in with a score of 79 out of 100.
So before we move on to the final 2 half marathons we've done this year, what are your thoughts out there? Have you got a favourite half marathon that you've done either this year or before, and how would you rank it? Let us know in the comments below and help out the community who may be wanting to choose a half marathon for them to do for 2025 or beyond.
So the next half marathon in our collection is Lake Vyrnwy in North Wales.
So this takes place in mid-September. We did it this year, having previously done it in around 2011, I believe. Now, it's on the pricier side, £38 entry. You get a medal and a few bits and pieces at the end. So in terms of value for money, they also close the road. So it's not totally closed, but there are some road closures in place. So that all adds to the cost. So we give the Lake Vyrnwy Half Marathon 18 out of 25 in terms of value for money.
So, PB potential. Well, yes, Lake Vyrnwy is a decent course. You do have a climb at the start, which actually is quite a significant climb, but you also come back down that at the end, so it's got a really fast finish. The course itself is rolling, but it's very smooth. I don't know, there's something about this course that actually does allow you to get into pace. And if you've not run a PB on a flat course, I do think you'd stand a good chance of getting a PB at this race.
Yeah, I think there are flat sections and then there are small climbs and small dips which actually break it up for you, so you're not overtaxing the same muscles all the time. And as you said, the last mile is a fling yourself down to the end sort of affair. It's actually the 5th fastest half marathon I've ever run, was set on this course back in about 2011. So all in all, we've given the Lake Vyrnwy half marathon a PB potential of 20 out of 25. So the third category, pre-race logistics. So entry for this race, you don't have to be mad keen and snap up the entries as soon as it opens. We entered several months in advance, but I believe entries are open till a few months in advance. So don't dilly-dally, but yeah, if you make up your mind in a few months that you want to do the Lake Vyrnwy Half Marathon, entries are available. On the day logistics, parking was right near the start and finish line, which was fantastic. So we got there really early. We could spend time in our car, we could walk around, we could warm up, change our clothes, take our gels, etc. And there was also plenty of toilets dotted around. In the village hall there were some public toilets, so we ran out a mile, other side of the dam wall, and found some toilets there. So all in all, we found the logistics absolutely fine for us, and we gave pre-race and on the day logistics a score of 20 out of 25.
So the final category is course interest and atmosphere. Well, I have to say this course is a wow for me in terms of its interest. The views are absolutely stunning. You run across the dam wall, you run round the reservoir, you've got loads of natural sort of interest, trees, scenery, and for me, yes, it actually comes out quite high.
Yeah, you've also got the fact that the dam wall, it was, built for a reason. There's a history behind it, which I went into in the video. You pass by a war memorial from the town that they had to reposition because of the building of the reservoir and the dam. So it's historic interest, it's natural interest, and it really rates very highly from all the runners I know who've done it. So the Lake Vyrnwy Half Marathon, in terms of course interest and indeed atmosphere, there's pockets of support all the way around. There was a really good atmosphere at the start and finish, but plenty of people dotted around the course, really enthusiastic marshals. It really was one of the best days out of running we had this year, and we rated it at 23 out of 25.
So the overall score for the Lake Vyrnwy Half Marathon comes in at 81 out of 100. So the 5th and final half marathon that I did this year was the Redcar Half Marathon.
So firstly, in terms of value for money, well, next year it costs £32.50 to enter the Redcar Half Marathon. For that you get a medal and a t-shirt and a really decent goodie bag at the end of the race. The race is also run entirely on closed roads, so at £32.50 it represents super value for money. So we rate the Redcar Half Marathon in terms of value for money at 25 out of 25. I don't think you'll find better anywhere in the UK.
So the next category is PB potential. Well, yes, it is run on a flat course, and it is really, I guess, quite good if you want to get a PB. However, it is run on a seafront route, and you do go up and down, up and down, up and down, and there are 5 U-turns, so you do lose a bit of time on those U-turns. However, it is a flat course, so on the right day, if there's no wind coming off the sea, then I'm sure you could actually grab yourself a PB. However, another thing I did find on the day was that it wasn't really a densely packed field of runners, and I found myself running on my own for quite a lot of the race. So if I was wanting some support to help pull me along to a fast time and a PB, I think it would have been a little bit lacking.
So all in all, we rate the PB potential of the Redcar Half Marathon at 22 out of 25.
So yes, the next category is logistics. Now this race is very well regarded by England Athletics, that it was chosen as an England Masters qualification race in 2024.
Yeah, some of the reasons behind that decision: they were taking entries until a couple of days beforehand. In fact, so good and flexible were the logistics that I managed to drop down from the half marathon to the 10k, so they're very flexible. There's ample parking close to the race start and finish line. There were portaloos and public toilets to use, and there was a baggage tent and a really good exit from the race tent where you went to get all your post-race goodies. So I've done plenty of races across this year and in previous years, and we thought that the logistics for the Redcar Half Marathon was pretty much spot on, and we gave it 23 out of 25.
And up last is the course interest and atmosphere. Well, I mean, I love a sea view, so for me the interest was there because it was all done up and down the seafront. However, after maybe 5 times up and down, I guess it could become a little bit boring. However, when it comes to atmosphere, you can't fault it because you were going past the race start area many times. You got lots of support from crowds up and down the course.
The half marathon was part of the Redcar Festival of Running, so people who'd done the 5k or the 10k like I had done stayed on to cheer on the half marathon runners too. Because you're passing up and down as well, you can also see the leaders in the race, who's in front of you, who's behind, so it made for a really good atmosphere on the day. I think there was a cafe just opposite the race headquarters as well, so lots of people congregating there and cheering the runners on.
So that category gets 22 out of 25.
Which leaves the Redcar Half Marathon scoring 92 out of 100. So I hope you found our take on some of the UK's top half marathons informative and interesting. If you have, please give this video a like, and if you'd like to see us do more half marathons, 10Ks, marathons, 5Ks and parkruns, then please subscribe to the channel. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.